Okay, thank you. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Teacher Nathan here. We'll wait for a few moments for more friends to join us before we start going through the English paper today. This afternoon, I'm going through Temasek Primary School Primary 6 Prelim Exam Paper 2 from 2023. So we'll just wait for a few moments for more friends to join us before I start the lesson. Okay, without further ado, let me begin going through Temasek Primary School P6 Prelim 2023. Okay, I'm Teacher Nathan, and very warm welcome to everybody on TikTok and on Instagram. Hi, Bukit Tafif. Nice to see you again. Now, I come from Writers at Work, and we are English Enrichment Center. So if you'd like to have more online question by question going through of the papers, please log on to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Xiaohongshu. Yeah, this is standard for standard level. Yeah, and if you are curious about our books, ebooks, and resources, you can click on the link in our bio to purchase them. All right. Now, let's start going through our grammar section first. Yeah, usually we'll be going through standard paper, but if you take the foundation one, you also can attend our live sessions because English in itself is a language. So regardless of the level you are learning, is always helpful. All right. So without further ado, let me go through our grammar again. John dash that his parents were not at home when he returned after school immediately started playing online games with his friends. Now this is tenses question. So we take a look at the options available. Realized. This is past tense. Then we have realizing, which is present continuous. Present continuous means that the action is ongoing as we speak. Next, we have had realized. Had realized over here is past perfect, which means that the action occurred before a second one took place. Then lastly was realizing. This is past continuous, which means the action is still continuing at certain time in the past. Okay, now let's take a look at the keywords on our question. John dash his parents were not at home when he returned after school. So this return immediately started playing. Okay, so you can see this is past tense. but immediately started playing online games. So this one will affect how we choose the answer. Yes, it is past tense. For written, it's past tense. And started playing is also past tense. But this action is ongoing until now. So let's say he returned home at 3 p.m. and he started playing. So number one, he returned home, he started playing. Now it is 4:50 p.m. He's still playing. So we will choose number 2. Very good, Gatling. Number 2. Because the action is still ongoing at the time that we are speaking at 4:50 p.m. now. Okay? Now, for number 4, let me just give you an example because this is not really used or tested. The children were eating lunch at noontime. So you can see, I use the word were eating and also noontime. So noontime is around 12 p.m. But I'm not really sure exactly at what time. Therefore, I use the phrase were eating. Okay, so this is how we use this. Okay, now moving on. Mrs. Tan has dash reason to worry about her children that they are all grown up and have started working. So this is what we call an adverb of degree question. So let's take a look at the options. Few, little, much, and many. Few and many, these are countable, are used for countable nouns. Whereas much and little are used for uncountable nouns. Okay, so what does this mean? We need to take a look at the keyword to identify is it a countable or uncountable noun. So if we take a look at the question here, you are talking about reason. And the next keyword that would enable us to know is the quantity high or low is all grown up, started working. So her worry. Okay, I'm sorry, it's not reason, but rather her worry. And the other keyword is all grown up and started working. So because all of them have grown up, Mrs. Tan don't need to be worried. Don't need to worry, okay? And because worry is considered uncountable, has little reason to worry. Therefore, my answer would be number 2. Alright, moving on to number 3. Old Mr. Lim shared with us how he would just watch his classmates dash in the school field during recess every day as he was too shy to join them. Now, this is what we call a subject-verb agreement kind of question. So we can take a look at the options available first. Play and plays. These are in the present tense. Next, we have play. This is past tense. And playing is in the present continuous tense. So if we look back at the question, classmates, plural. So the answer is number 1, play. Because you have plural for classmates. And yes, that's my number 1. Was play in the school field. This is question number 3. Yes, the answer will be number 1. Okay. Now, why is it not number 3? Because if you take a look at the other keywords here, shared with us, was too shy. He would just, you see, watch his classmates. Watch his classmates. This is really present tense. So this it signifies that over here it will be a base form. Therefore, it will be watch his classmates play. Okay. Now moving on to question 4. Could Davy dash home without her wallet? Mrs. Raj wondered while staring at the familiar-looking wallet on the dining table. Now, this one is also considered a tenses question. Then, if we take a look at the options, have left. Okay, left is past tense. Leave is present tense. Now, have left. This is present perfect. Perfect, sorry. This means that the action was completed at the time of speaking, but effect still felt. Okay. Next, had left. Had left. This one is known as a past perfect. Past perfect means that the action occurred before second action took place. So the answer is actually number 3, had left. Because if I were to draw a, let me draw a timeline. So Davy had left the house. Okay. Then over here, Mrs. Raj saw the wallet. And this, you can see, is in the past tense because of my keyword here, wondered. So let's say this is at 4 p.m. that Mrs. Raj saw the wallet on the table. So Davy leaving the house must be even earlier, like probably 3 p.m. So because this is action number 1, then there's this second action here. There are 2 actions in play. So in this case, we will use past perfect tense, which is option number 3. Okay, therefore, this is my answer. Now, let's go on to question 5. When Siti and her family first migrated to Australia, they had difficulty adapting the way of life there. Now, this is a preposition kind of question. Now, let's take a look at the options. In refers to a location of something. So let's say Ali is in the house. That means he's inside this particular building. Okay, this is how we use the preposition. For, I think, for. Adapting, no, the answer is actually 2. Okay, I see Budak Tafif. Okay, now let's take a look at 2. 2 is a movement to somewhere. So you can see we are talking about Siti moving to Australia and adapting to something at that place. So we use the word to. Now, for is to show a purpose. So for an event. let's say I turn up for an event, it's for purpose. But take note, take note. For is a conjunction. But over here, we need a preposition. So actually, for should not even be considered. Now, last one, with. With is to show you accompany somebody. So you could say, mother went to the clinic with grandma. That means mother accompanied or followed grandma to the clinic. Okay? So, because of my keyword here, Australia, which is a particular place, and you adapt to this place. So we are talking about a movement to a particular place. We use the term to. Okay? And let me just give everybody some time to digest the information we have on my page here. Okay, for those of you who just joined us, welcome to TikTok. This afternoon, teacher Nathan will be going through Temasek Primary School Prelim from 2023. Okay, I'm still at the grammar section and I'll be going through question 6 after this. Okay, another thing is, if you know the answers to my questions, please feel free to type them in the comments. Okay, I will tell you whether they are incorrect or correct. In addition, if you have any questions, kindly type them in the comment section as well. And I would go through with you your queries. Okay? Now, let's move on to question 6. Question 6 reads, she hardly snacks between meals, dash. So, this is known as a question tag kind of question. Okay? Hardly means does not. So, for a question tag question, I need a positive and a negative that are similar. So, if it's does not. Has not. So, in this case, because my keyword is hardly, and I know that hardly means does not. So, I have a negative portion here, which means over here it needs to be a positive statement. So my answer will be does she. Now, why is it not number 1 or number 3? Because if I were to substitute hardly for has or hasn't, the sentence is not grammatically correct. So if my sentence would be she has snacks between meals, or she has not snacks between meals, it doesn't make sense. Therefore, we always use does. Okay? Now, Ely barely say is number 2. Yes, correct. The answer is 2. Now, the packet of assorted biscuits dashed by my brother last week. This one is tenses. Type of question. Was bought, were bought. This is past. Okay, what we know as, yes, this is past tense. Bought. Bought is past tense. Now, has or have. Has bought, have bought. This is known as present perfect tense. Which means the action was completed at time of speaking, but effect still felt. So, if you take a look at my keywords, look at my keywords. Last week, so it's in the past. Then you talk about biscuits. Now then, a packet of assorted biscuits. One packet only, okay? Illy belly, take note. Because this packet of biscuits were bought, this action, it has been completed, yes, but the effect is not felt anymore. Therefore, I don't consider option 3 and option 4. But you see, the packet, one packet, so it was bought, not were bought. I hope you understand. Very good, Budak Tafif. Please take note. This is a very tricky, this is a very sneaky way the teachers can cause you to lose marks. Because you see the word biscuits, you think it's plural. But we're talking about the packet. So you need to identify the whole noun. The whole noun is the packet of assorted biscuits. These 5 words, not biscuits alone. Okay? Now let's take a look at question 8. Dash, it is natural to feel upset when you do not meet the targets you have set for yourself. Do not ever give up. Our form teacher advised us. Now, this is a conjunction kind of question. So let's take a look at the keywords. While. So that means while refers to a period of time. Okay, AV said wow. Ellie Belly also said wow. Wow is the correct answer. Very good. But let's take a look at the other options also. Unless shows you lay out condition for something. Then however means you show contrast. Then moreover means you add information. Because of our keyword, okay, once I analyze my options, I'll go back to the keywords. So you see, feel upset when you do not meet the target. So this is a period of time when you are sad. So because there is a period of time, I will choose option 1, which is why a lot of you, AV, Ellie Belly, all said number 1, which is correct. Very good. Now let's take a look at question 9 now. The number of scam cases reported dash currently on the rise. So this is a tenses kind of question. And you see, this is where we can recap, identify the whole noun. Now for question 9, number of scam cases, Budak Tafif, you are correct that number of scam cases is singular. But you see, currently, this is present tense. So are you sure it's number 3? R on the right, AV, that's wrong. Because we are looking at the number of scam cases. So it is not the scam cases itself, but the fact or the trend. Okay, only one trend. Singular. Very good, Daniel, Raphael. The answer is number 1, actually. Okay, is. So let me just emphasize again. You identify the whole noun. The whole noun here is number of scam cases. 4 words, not only scam cases. Okay, very good. Some of you are already very straightforward. Okay, yeah. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Neo. Now, let's take a look at number 10. Mrs. Chen and her family decided to take advantage dash the good weather by going to the beach for a picnic. Now, this is known as a preposition kind of question. Okay, so let's take a look at the options. Of refer to the relationship between things. Budak Tafi said by. Take advantage by. No, by is not the correct answer. By refers to a source. So you can say the chicken rice was cooked by mother. So the by here shows you that mother cooked the chicken rice. That's how we use this preposition. The answer for question 10 should be of. You take advantage of the good weather. So advantage and weather, as well as going to the beach for picnic. So we are looking at the relationship between number 1, going to the beach, and number 2, the good weather. So how do I link these two things? You want to show that it's a positive relationship. Good weather, I go to the beach. So I take advantage of number 2, good weather, to go to the beach. Okay, that's how we use this preposition. Now, if you take a look at on means on the, then you are referring to the surface of something. So I say put the pen on the table means my pen is resting on this flat surface called the table. From refers to the position of something. So if I say my grandmother migrated from China, that means she came from this place. This is the original place. Okay, now let me talk about another preposition, to, Singapore. So my grandmother migrated from China to Singapore in 1933. So to here shows you the new place. Okay, so I repeat again, there are two prepositions, from and to. From shows you the original place, to shows you the new place. Okay, now this is all for grammar. I just give everybody some time to take in the information I've just shared before I move on to vocab. My head is spinning already. Now, Budak Tafif, is there any kind of questions that you are not sure of? You can just ask in the chat, it's fine. Okay, I'll try my best to answer you as promptly as possible. That's not the word, that's not our vocab section. Okay, it's natural if you are unsure. That's why we do more practices. Okay. In fact, by the way, actually every day we actually have some Tip Talk Live ongoing. So this kind of sessions are good for you to clarify your doubts and practice on your English. Okay, it's designed to be difficult, so you can grow and you can improve on your English. Okay. All right, now let's go on to our vocabulary section. Okay. All schools must follow the country's curriculum to ensure students are prepared for the national examinations. Now, you see, we're talking about curriculum and all schools must follow. These are my two keywords here. Okay. So let's take a look at the options available. Elected basically means your politician or your leader is chosen by people. Okay, install basically means you fix a machine and it's ready for use. Appointed means you assign somebody a job. So you could say Ben was appointed as class monitor. That means your teacher give your classmate Ben this particular job. Prescribe means that you give a rule on how something should be done. So you can see that how something should be done is actually your curriculum, how you teach students. So how you teach is given a rule. And my keyword here, all schools must follow. So if you think of it, rules are compulsory for all. Okay, so this option 4 fits into the keywords that I've highlighted. Yeah, very good, Gek Ling. Yeah, this option 4 is correct. Okay. Now, for the rest of you, if you are unsure of your options or you have a certain option in mind, don't hesitate to type them in the comment section. Then we can discuss. Similarly, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat group also. Okay. Now, moving on. As Tanya had come in last in the trials, I was dashed when she told me that she stood a chance at winning the next race. Let's take a look at the options. Hesitant. Hesitant means you are unsure in acting or speech. Skeptical. Skeptical means you are not easily convinced. Undecided means you haven't made a decision. And suspicious means that you don't trust somebody. Okay? Budak Tafi say 3. No, the answer here is 2. Because she said, look at my keywords. Come in last. And now she wants winning. So sorry. For question 12, the answer is number 2. Okay? You are skeptical, so you are not easily convinced that she can win the race. Undecided means you haven't made a decision. But in this question here, there is no decision to be made to begin with. Now, hesitant and skeptical are actually very close. Now, then why is it not hesitant? Hesitant you need to be the person himself is unsure of something. So if you want to use the word hesitant, you could say that Tanya is hesitant to win the race as she came in last in the trial. If I were to write this sentence, it makes sense because Tanya is unsure of acting, or in this case, performing, because we are talking about running a race. Okay? So this is how I would answer question 12. Now, moving on to question 13. The defendant was eventually dashed of all charges as there was insufficient evidence to prove guilt. Now, liberate means to set free from captivity. Release means to move freely. Acquit means you free somebody of criminal charge. Lastly, relinquish means you give up a title. So if we take a look at our keywords here, defendant, insufficient evidence to prove guilt. So over here, we are talking about a court and we are talking about crime. And there was insufficient evidence to prove guilt. So this means that he's free of any criminal charges. So this means that my answer should be number 3. Okay? Now, moving on. Okay? Sarah glared dashed at her brother when he refused to return her diary to her. So we have severely. Severely means very intense. Grievously also has the same meaning. That means very intense. Menacingly means you look at somebody threateningly. And precariously means a dangerous position. Okay? So, if you look at the keywords again, they are glaring. And brother refused to return her diary to her. So because her brother doesn't want to return the diary, which probably stores her secret, she wants to snatch it back from her brother. So before you even snatch it back, you want to show people that you are fierce. Yes, giggling. Number 3 means that means you are fierce. Therefore, the answer will be number 3. Okay, very good. Now, let's take a look at number 15. The students dash the performance for Teachers' Days, despite the lack of practice due to their busy schedules. Now, drew up means you prepare a plan. Got over means you return to the usual state of health after illness. Put off means you succeed in a difficult event. And put across means you communicate, you say something to somebody. So looking at our keywords that we have, lack of practice, but they still can do a good Teachers' Day performance. So you could see that the lack of practice could mean that they may not be very confident in the performance, but nevertheless, they still manage to do it. So my answer would be number 3. Okay, now I just give everybody a few moments to take in the information I just presented before we go on to our next section. Okay, moving on, we have our vocabulary close section. Dolphins are small-toothed mammals. They are easily recognizable by their curved mouths, which give them a permanent smile. Most dolphins live in ocean or brackish waters along the coastline. Now, we're taking a look at question 16, permanent. Okay, so if you take a look at the options, stable means something is unlikely to give way or collapse. Durable means you can withstand damage. Recurring means you occur again and again. And number 4 means you continue forever. Alright, so we're talking about a smile which is always there. So essentially, we're talking about something that is continuing forever. It always stays on the face, on the mouth, because of the curved mouth. So the answer will be perpetual. That means it's forever there. Okay? Now, moving on. Dolphins feed chiefly on fish and squid, which they track using echolocation, a built-in sonar that bounces sound wave of prey. Now, chiefly, my keyword here, fish and squid. So it's very specific to the dolphins, that dolphins only eat these 2 kinds of sea creature. So, if we take a look at the options, typically means usual. Regularly means you happen at fixed interval. Substantially means a lot of something. Okay, then predominantly means the main thing. So even if you're unsure of the meaning of chiefly, you can see that there are only two particular kinds of sea creatures that are mentioned, which means these are the main things. So my answer will be number 4, predominantly. Okay. Now, if you are watching our TikTok live and you want to share your answers with everybody, please feel free to type in the comment section. I'll tell you if it's correct and I'll explain to you if it's wrong. All right? Let's do that and we can help one another learn. Now, moving on to question 18, which they track using echolocation, a built-in sonar that bounces sound waves of prey and reveals information like its location, size, and shape. Okay, so you can see here that these are examples of the information that they can give to sound waves of prey. That means the prey will give out all these things: location, size, and shape. So if you take a look at the options available, admit means you confess something. Declare means you say something in a solemn manner. That is very serious. Okay? Now, disclose means reveal. That means show something. Then confess means you admit to mistake. Okay, so in this case, because of the echolocation, the prey would this echolocation will cause the prey to give out. That means it would that means if your prey is over here, okay, your prey would send out all this information to my dolphin. My dolphin is here. Okay, my dolphin. So the dolphin will know all this information from the prey. That means you are reviewing or you show something to the dolphin. Therefore, my answer will be number 3, disclose. Okay. Now let's take a look at question 19. Living in pods that can number a dozen or more, dolphins are intensely social mammals that communicate with squeaks, whistles, and clicks. Now, if you take a look at question 19 here, intensely social mammals, and they number a dozen or more. Okay, so you can see that over here there is a huge quantity. Okay, now if you take a look at our options, obviously means something is easily understood. Extremely means great degree. Noticeably means you can see easily. And seemingly means you give impression or something. So in this question, you can see that the dolphins are intensely, there is some huge quantity, very high. So if you talk about something very high, very quantity that's very high, it means something is of a great degree. Therefore, it is number 2, extremely. Okay. Now, moving on to question 20. They are graceful swimmers that can reach speeds of more than 18 miles an hour. So, we are talking about the dolphins able to hit this goal of the speed. Okay? So if you take a look at the options, access. Access means you have the opportunity to enter a place. Okay? Next, we have manage. Manage means you're in charge of something. Okay? Next, we have accomplish. Accomplish means you complete something successfully. Okay. Then lastly, we have attain. Attain means you reach a goal. So as you can see very clearly in this question, the dolphins are hitting a particular goal. And what's this goal? To reach the speeds of more than 80 miles an hour. So if you want to reach this goal, the best word to actually use is attain, because that is the meaning, to reach a goal. So for number 20, the answer is number 4. Okay? So let me just give everybody a few moments to absorb the knowledge I've just shared. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. Okay? Okay, so for those of you who have just joined, very good afternoon to you. This is teacher Nathan, and I'm going through Temasek Primary School Primary 6 Prelim paper for English from the year 2023. Okay, I've just finished the MCQ parts, and now I'm going to look at the open-ended booklet B. Okay, so now let's go on to this next segment, which is grammar close. Okay, so let me just cover up and okay, come. Once again, if you are unsure of any question, please feel free to type in the chat. Then, if you have any answers that you want to share with everyone, please feel free to type them also. Okay. So let's take a look at question number 29 now. 2/3 of all supermarket outlets in Singapore, including NTUC, FairPrice, and Cold Storage, are imposing the charge dash all materials on disposable bags. So for this question, my answer would be charge on something. Okay, because on is a preposition, and it's a preposition to show place. So you are talking about a position or relationship of an object. Okay, to show place or object. So you impose a charge on this thing. That means my plastic bag has a charge. Okay, this is what it means. Okay, so now let's go on to the other questions. All materials of disposable bags, including plastic dash paper. So this one, we are talking about two similar objects which have a charge, that means you need to pay money in order to use them. And because they are similar, we use the word and, including plastic and paper. The carrier bag charge is dash several proposed amendments to the Resource Sustainability Act. So for this question here, there are several proposed amendments, and this is just one of the many amendments. Okay, so if we are talking about one of the many, we will say among, which is number B. So I have many different amendments, but I'm pointing out at this particular one, which is the imposition of charges on plastic and paper bags. Okay. The aim of the proposed changes is to reduce packaging and food waste in Singapore. So for this question, we are looking at is. It's a verb. Okay. So you can see, reduce, this is present tense. And we are talking about just one aim, which is singular. So because of these two keywords, I would use the word is. Now moving on, Dash 2021, only 6% of all plastic waste was recycled in Singapore. So for this part here, we're talking about time period. Therefore, the answer will be in. Because in this particular year, so you're referring to a time period of 2021. Take note, in can be used as a preposition for time and place. Earlier, I said in the house. Let's say if I say Ali is in the house, that means he's hiding inside this building. But another use of in is when you want to talk about time. So in this year, that means within this time period, something happened. That's why I use H. The carrier bag charge was first announced in early 2022. At present, the largest supermarket operators dash impose the charge report an annual turnover of. So for this part over here, we are looking at P that impose, the largest supermarkets that impose the charge report an annual turnover of more than 100 million. So we have a charge report and we're referring to particular people who have imposed all this charge. Okay, so if you want to talk about an object here, we use that, or we also can use which. These are known as relative pronouns for objects. If you use like who, whose, and whom, these are also known as relative pronouns for people. So there are two different kinds of relative pronoun, and the users vary depending on whether you are talking about object or people. Okay, so let's take a look at the next question. An annual turnover of more than 100 million and dash better resource to implement the requirements. So we are talking about supermarket operators with a S. So an R, better resource to implement the requirements. It's also present tense because impose and report. Okay, these are my clues that help me with my answer. So number 36, dash smaller operators are encouraged to implement dash own bag charges too. So for question 36 here, we're looking at nevertheless. Okay, nevertheless is for question 36, it's a conjunction. So you can see that for the previous line here, they say that the big supermarket operators are better resourced to implement. But you see, smaller operators are also encouraged to implement. So there's a contrast because we can draw this relationship that big operator, the bigger the operator, the better resource to implement. That means that we are also thinking conversely that is smaller the operator, that means less resource to implement. This is our thought process. But this part over here says smaller operators are still encouraged to implement. So you can see that from my statement over here, my thinking process versus over here, there's a kind of contrast. So when I want to show contrast, I will need to use the conjunction nevertheless. Or you can also use however. But there isn't the term however here. Okay? Implement, because we're talking about smaller operators and implementing this kind of charges. So we're talking about they themselves doing it. So if they themselves do this, means that implement there. Okay, therefore the answer is Q. Now moving on. Many such retailers dash done so. According to the NEA and the Ministry of Sustainability and the Environment, Many such retailers dash done so. So you see many such retailers, so this is plural. And over here, we are talking about have done so. Because this is, you see, done, past. Have done is, so have done shows that it's implemented in the past. But effect still felt now. So what is this effect? The effect of paying money is still felt. Therefore, we use the word have done. Okay? So this is all for grammar close. I just give everybody some time to absorb the information I just shared. Okay, also joining us for booklet B, we have our class pet Ronnie. Hello everybody, hello. So please say hi to Ronnie in the chat. Okay, he'll be learning English with us, all right? And he'll be sitting just right here looking at our paper and learning with us, okay? So if you are online now, just say hi to Ronnie. You can just type it in the comment section. Okay, I just give everybody about a minute or so to absorb the information. Then we'll continue with the next section, okay? All right, moving on to editing. Okay. Hello, Kikling. Hello, Budak Taffy. Hello, Neo Fui Fui. Okay, Ronnie will say hi to you when you type it in the, when you type hello Ronnie in the comment section. Okay, hello everybody. Okay, moving on to editing. Hans Christian Andersen was a Danish author. Though a professional writer of plays, travelogues, novels, and poems, he is best remembered for his literary fairy tales. Now, this one is remembered because it's past tense here. Your keyword will affect what you write. Okay, have you eaten Ronnie? Hello, I haven't eaten yet. After our English class, then I'll eat. Okay. Andersen's fairy tales, consisting of 156 stories across 9 volumes, have been translated to more than 125 different languages. Okay, translate to something, because we are talking about preposition of object from one thing to another. So let's say from English to Tamil. Okay, now moving on, they are accessible to children but present lessons of virtue and resilience in the face of adversity for mature readers. As well, his most famous fairy tales include, because we're talking about many famous fairy tales. This is plural, so includes. Okay, why not into for hey bus? You are referring to translated into more than translated into or to, both are accepted. Okay, but usually we say translated to another language, but nevertheless into will still be accepted. Okay, thank you for pointing out hey bus. The Emperor's New Clothes and The Little Mermaid. His stories have inspired ballads, plays, and animated and live-action films. Hans Christian Andersen was born in Odense, Denmark on 2nd April 1805. Anderson's father, who had received an elementary school education, introduced his son to literature. Reading to him Arabian Nights. Anderson's mother, Anne Marie, was an illiterate. Okay, so for this question, just take note. Illiterate is one of the more difficult spelling words that was tested. Okay? Okay, illiterate. This is how I spelled it, okay? Illiterate. Anderson was sent to a local school for poor children where he received basic education and had to support himself, working as an apprentice. Okay? Apprentice. And to a tailor. At 14, Anderson moved to Copenhagen to seek employment as an actor at the Royal Danish Theatre. A colleague at the theatre to Anderson that he considered him a poet. Okay. Oh no, so tricky, man. Yeah, for this question, there are a few spelling questions that are more tricky. So maybe at this point of time, let me share with everybody some commonly misspelled words. Okay. Misspelled. Okay. So first one, resuscitate. Okay, you resuscitate. Resuscitate. That's how you spell. Next, fulfill. See, this one is one L, but if we do fulfilled, it's two double L. This is just some common spelling error. But fulfilling is also double L, but fulfillment is one L again. Okay, so you see, same word but different. Yep, correct. I'm sorry. This one is prolific. Okay, not professional. Very good. Pee pee poo poo. Very good. That's the correct answer. Okay. Now going back to what I was sharing with everyone earlier about the misspelled words. So just take note. What I call the fulfill family. Okay, there are different number of L's. Next is actually the word why there's one and why there's two L. I'm not the creator of English, but this is how we spell the word. So just take note, okay? Budak Hafiz 11. Now, another one that is important is occurrence. OCCURRENCE. So double C, double R. So a lot of people will spell like that or like that. Okay, these are wrong. Double C, double R. Just take note. Now, the same, similarly, committed is like that. Commit and commitment. Okay, yeah, correct. All this you need to memorize. Okay, so I repeat, the commit family is also another very interesting one. MMTT. Commit is just MM and T. Then commitment is double M but one T again. Okay, just take note. So don't ask me how these words came about. It's spelled this way. So the most straightforward method to do Budak Tahfiz 11 is to just memorize them. Okay, and you will not go wrong. Okay, all these words that I share with you are from many practices that I've done as a teacher. So I just give everybody some time to take note of these important words before I go on to the next section of booklet B. Okay? Okay, moving on. We'll talk about synthesis and transformation first. Okay. 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 Can everybody hear me now? Hello, I'm back. Yeah, very good. Okay, if you can hear me, just give a thumbs up or you can just write in the comment section. Okay, thanks everybody. Okay, my mic just went out of battery, unfortunately. Okay, okay, very good, very good. Budak Tafif, Gek Leng is back. Yeah. Okay, anybody else? Hello, Guo Lai. Okay, back to where I was. Not only the accompanying pair is but also. So after I've written them down here, but also, I will fill in the blanks. So the first part is she washed the clothes, and the second part is she ironed the clothes. So you can see that clothes is repeated. So we'll use them. Okay. So not only did Sue wash the clothes, but she also ironed them. So another kind of pairs, one is not only but also, the other prefer to. So you can say Sue prefer running to football. That means running is number one, football is number two priority. Can don't put but. Who wash the clothes? No. For synthesis and transformation, we need to observe the rules. So when you have not only, you need to have but also spelled out clearly. We cannot just say she also ironed them. Okay? Another thing to take note, not only did Sue wash the clothes, comma. All these things are common careless mistakes people would have. Okay? So Gek Leng, please just be careful about it. Now, let's take a look at 67. My mother took me to the museum yesterday, the boy said. So if you take a look at this This is known as the indirect to direct speech question. Okay, this is my favorite question because I need to underline to. So what I'll do is, number one, I'll underline. Then number two, I would change the words. Okay, so my mother took me to the museum yesterday. So the first thing I need to take note is took, my, and yesterday. So I would change them on top of, okay, the boy said that his mother had taken him to the museum. Okay, the full stop. Very good. That's the correct answer. Okay, the previous day. Okay, very good. So I just want to, let me just write the answer. IDK English sabotage my peers in had taken him to the museum the previous day. Okay, why we change had took to had taken? Okay, so you need to always move one one level back. Take, took, had taken. So let's say the question changed to mother take my parents take me to the museum today, the boy said. So if over here is a take, then we'll move one level back to took. And if in this case we have a took, we'll move one level back, okay, 1 degree back to had taken. So this is how we approach this kind of question. Okay, then we will also underline words that we need to change and write the correct words at the, or our answer at the top. Okay, so this serves as a form of checking before you write your final answer. Okay, now moving on. Roy told his parents a lie. He admitted to it. So the answer will be Roy admitted to telling his parents a lie. Okay. So the it refers to this act of telling a lie. So that's how we change it. Okay, telling his parents a lie. Yeah, very good. The full stop. Now, unless shows a criteria. So when we have an unless question, I would need a positive and a negative part. So the answer will be you will not spot the bird in the bushes unless you look hard. Okay, so you can see you will not spot the bird. This is the outcome, and this is the cause. Okay, you will not spot the bird in the bush unless you look unless you look hard enough. Now for the full stop, you need a positive. You will spot the bird. Yes, for the full stop person, if you're going to write that, that is also accepted. So we just need one positive and one negative. Okay. You will spot the bird unless. Wait, for the full stop person, you will. Okay, usually for this kind of question, the back would be a positive. Okay. Usually it'll be this case. If you're going to write it the opposite way, it may not be the most ideal, but if the teacher is lenient, you will still get the marks. Okay, I hope you understand. Now, let's look at question 70. The football match was suddenly cancelled. It caught us by surprise. The sudden cancellation of the football match. Caught us by surprise. Okay, very good. Now, for this kind of question, is this primary school? Yes, this is primary 6. Temasek Primary School prelim. Okay, so for this kind of question, we are looking at the change of word form. Okay, so what is a word form? From a verb to a noun. Okay, and in this case, we are talking about verb to a noun. So cancel to cancellation. Let me just give you a few other words. Okay, achieve. Achieve, the noun will be achievement. Applaud. Applause. Attend. Attendance. Now take note, when the teacher wants you to change the word form, it is also an opportunity for them to check on your spelling. So if you see cancellation is double L, attendance is double T. Okay, just take note. This is also what Budak Tafiz will also call it tricky, correct? These are usually the more tricky questions. But if you do enough practice and you understand how to change the word form, actually this is one of the easiest questions to score marks in. Okay? Just give everybody some time before I move on to my last section, which is vocab close. I hate tricky questions. Well, for every paper, there will be both straightforward and the easy and the difficult questions. Okay, that's how they sieve out, or they will award people with the higher bands of the achievement levels. Yes, correct, Geekling. You need to memorize again. Certain things in English can study. You are able to study for them, so you can memorize them like science. My brains are not so big. It's not about whether your brains are big. You need to put in the effort day by day. And that's why for Writers at Work, we do the live stream every day. So you can just learn things bit by bit. And that's how we improve over time. Okay? Okay, now let's move on to our vocab close. All right, everybody. Diners who fail to return used trays and crockery at the coffee shops, food courts, and hawker centres may face tougher action from the National Environment Agency and Singapore Food Agency from 1st June. Dash of merely being advised to clean up. Dash themselves, first-time offenders will be given written warning. So over here, my answer is instead. So instead shows alternatives. So I need 2 different actions. So my keyword, or what I will underline, is merely advised to clean up. This is one action. Given written warning is the second one. So you can see that the first-time offenders will not be given an advice, but they'll be given a warning. So the warning is takes over the advice. So this is clean up after them. Okay, correct. Ethan, the next one is after. Okay, so this is for option 51, question 51. I'm showing an alternative, therefore I use instead. Yep, correct. Clean up after themselves. Okay, this one is a phrasal verb, because we are talking about written use tray and crockery. This is how I get this answer. Okay, very good, Ethan. Repeat offenders will dash the possibility of fine or getting charged in court. Okay, see, this, that means the repeat offenders will dash and face correct, because they'll encounter this fine or charge in court. So you face this possibility. No one has been fined or charged ever dash the agencies kick off the efforts. So for this question here, the answer is since. Very good. But why is it since? Because there's a time period here. Okay, yeah, very good. Budak Tafiz 11, since. And at coffee shops and food courts, however, as at March 31 March, written warnings have been dashed to 2 individuals. Okay, very good. Issued. Because you are talking about written warnings being. Another word you can use, right, is given. Okay, but I would prefer the word issued, because issued is it has this authoritative action. Being given is very general. So you see, when we are talking about English, we need accuracy in the language. Both issued and given have the same meaning, but issued has this authoritative action, which is what the text is talking about. Okay? Now moving on. Individuals who refuse to what? The advice. So when you talk about advice, it will always be heed, or the alternative is follow. Okay? But I would always use the word heed first, because heed means you follow somebody's instruction. And this somebody we're talking about here is somebody of higher authority. Okay, I hope everybody is following so far. And give a thumbs up if you are following. Okay, so now let's move on. Strengthened enforcement measures are meant to reinforce good dash. Very good. Okay, this one we will use the word habits. Okay, why do we use the word habits? Because over here we talk about written use, trace, and crockery. So this is the action of this action that you repeatedly do. When you repeatedly do an action, we call it habits. Okay, and you see over here, repeatedly fail. So because of the word repeatedly, and we are talking about one action, this is how I derive the word habits. It said that large dash of dinners at hawker centers do return. So we are talking about diners and large. So over here, someone said numbers. I knew that was coming. Large number of diners, actually no. Because over here, we are talking about 2 groups of people. So instead of numbers, actually the focus should be proportion. Because over here we have the reason or the emphasis is on proportion. It's on 2 groups of people. So let's say this is 100%. These are the people who return cutlery, and these are the people who don't return. So because there are 2 groups of people stated explicitly in this text, the individuals who refuse to return and the people who reinforce the good habit, the people who always return. Therefore, we use the term proportion. Okay? At hawker centers do not return their used trays and crockery, and the stepped up enforcement dash to ensure the good efforts of diners. Okay, a large proportion. Okay, another word I just received is majority. So it's to connote that these are the people who return, which are many. Okay, many people. Many people. Okay, because I want to connote and show this, I use proportion or majority. All right. Now moving on. The step up enforcement effort dash good efforts who return are not marked. You see here, good efforts are not marked. What does this show? It shows this is like an aim of the enforcement or the reason why they enforce. Okay, reason for enforcing. So if you're talking about the reason, we use the term aims. So it's like the purpose. Okay, and you see here, enforcement is singular, one person only, therefore is aims are not marked by the what behavior of the minority. Okay, what answers do you have here? Come, everybody, write in the comment section plus irresponsible behavior. Okay, what other options do we have? Now, irresponsible can. My answer I have in mind is inconsiderate. Okay, because I'm thinking that some of you will put the bad behavior, because over here say good efforts ma. So you may be thinking it's like the two contrasting words like that. But for vocab close, it is not so easy. Nobody will put bad, good, bad, able, unable. Okay, if there's ever an option where you can just put good, bad, things like that, it's definitely not the correct answer. Poor behavior, not marked by the poor behavior. No, poor is too general already. So what is this poor behavior? It's because that this poor behavior means that you were irresponsible or you did not bother to clear the used cutlery. You see? So this poor is too general, and my focus here is accuracy of the language. Accuracy of language. Okay? Hope that answers your question, Gekling. Okay, let me finish up. The agency said it was looking to dash stricter enforcement. Okay, now we take a look at enforcement and agency. So, very good, Jelly. The answer is impose. Why is it impose? Because agency is an authority. Okay, and also enforcement. With the deployment of remote surveillance cameras dash April onward. So you see this is a preposition. And we have a time period here. So what are some answers that come to your mind? By, from, to, since. With. No, with cannot. Surveillance cameras with April onwards? No, but that's not wrong. That's right. That's wrong. The answer is from. Because over here it says onwards. That means April and beyond. But let's say but at the time of writing, we are talking about at this period of time. So April onwards. Okay, that's why we use from. Can you use the word with? With is to show complementary. That means two people. I went to the mall with Sally. See, I and Sally, that means two people. That's when we use with. Okay, but that's why that's wrong. Now let me finish up this paper. Okay, those who are prosecuted in court could be given a fine and corrective work order. CWOs dash recalcitrant offenders to clean public areas. Recalcitrant means people who repeat same mistake. Okay. Okay, so this what? I will say require, because this is compulsory. Corrective work orders. No, you cannot say order. The word order needs to have a person. The government ordered men to join the army. Then is accepted, because ordered have an authority, somebody. But this corrective work order is not a person, it's just an activity. So this activity entail a whole list of things. So this require them to do what? Okay. This serves to increase their awareness of the what over here, aware of the what of littering. You could use the word no, it cannot be offense. You see what cleaners go through. So actually this is the cannot be importance. Importance means something should be done regularly. Okay, the consequences of littering. Consequence can. I have two other words to share with you. Effects or impact of littering. Okay. You cannot raise a, you see, who is that? Jelly. You are talking about littering. Littering is bad. So if bad, okay, I draw thumbs down. So if you are you are increasing awareness, it cannot be to increase awareness of the action of littering. It doesn't make sense, you see. If you want to increase awareness, it needs to be increased awareness of, to draw attention to the effects of the action, which is bad. Okay, it doesn't make sense that you are drawing attention or you want to raise awareness or you want to for people to be to continue littering, you see. Therefore, my answer consequence that Ethan shared is correct. Or you can say effects or impact. Okay, and give them what of what cleaners go through. Come, what answers do we have, friends? Fueling of what? Very close. Jelly. Are there any more answers? Fueling. Bliss, glitz. Okay. A view. A few of what cleaners go through. Fueling. A fueling of what? No, you see, the word feel is talking about emotion. Whereas view, we are talking about what you observe. So this question here, cleaners go through. Go through, that means both emotion and what they observe. Okay, I draw the eye here. What they observe or give them an experience. Okay, so you see, experience here, glimpse. Very good. These are better words to use because they encompass both your feeling, what you observe, and what a taste. Taste also can. Okay, that's my answer. Who's that? Jelly. Give them a sense of what? Sense cannot. Sense is just knowledge. Okay, so this is not. So if you want to have your view and feeling together, will you use experience, glimpse, or taste? Okay, very good. Su In Tan, Jia Xin. Yeah, very good. Okay. All right. Now we have come to the end of our lesson. I noticed a lot of you joined quite late. Okay, for your information, our evening TikTok starts from 4:45 onwards. Okay, 4:45 to 6:50. Okay, then you have me, teacher Nathan, teaching you English. Okay, yeah, thank you. Now, if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask them in the chat. I'll stay for a while. And if you like to check out our other social media accounts, you can check out our Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Xiaohongshu. And if you'd like to have more resources, you can check out our Writers at Work website, which is in the bio. Okay, we also offer tuition services. So please check out the bio, the link in our bio. Okay, hi Andrew Wu. Now, are there any questions, anybody? Yeah, we have come to the end of our lesson already. Every day for P6 at TikTok. Please refer to our Instagram for the exact schedule. But every Sunday from 3 p.m. onwards, I'll be taking the TikTok lesson and I'll be teaching P6. Okay. So if you really want P6 lessons, please join me on Sunday from 3 to 6:15. I have 2 TikTok sessions. Are there any more questions, guys? If you enjoyed today's lesson, you can put a thumbs up also. Thank you.